Alright, Part 4, Part A. Doom King 94. Kids can't make up their own mind about existence or religion because they copy their parents until they're teenagers. Yeah, I can see that. You know, you're raised a certain way. That's how you're going to be, more than likely, when you hit adult. I think I started making up my own mind before I was a teenager, but things just wasn't adding up. You know, 2 and 2 can't be 5. Why is it 5? Well, you have to have faith that it's 5. No, 2 and 2 is 4. Space 197. Wow! Bootleg, you look so different now that you have shaved your beard off. I really didn't recognize you at the start, except your voice. Space 197, comment removed. Wolf 101, they'll never teach creationism with evolution side by side. I am not religion, plus being a conspiracy theorist on top of that, it's a really good chance the Bible was made up to instill social control. It helped collapse the Western Roman Empire. If you put a story next to scientific probability, the kids will probably go with science. Not all, but the majority. And the agenda then goes out the window. I do think you're right, though. Teach kids a variety, plus they'll be better students for it. I see a lot of your points. I mean, me as a kid, I went with scientific fact versus a story. Especially when the story has lots of holes and contradictions. And then the interpretation. You know, something that I couldn't understand. You got Methodists, you got Baptists, you've got Lutheran, you've got this and this and this, but they're all Christianity. Then you got the Catholics, and they're all reading from the same book, but coming up with different interpretations. That right there, slow the horse down, apply the brakes. How are we getting 20 different stories out of one story? How are we getting all these different versions and interpretations? You know, if this is supposed to be the one true thing to follow, how come there's all these Y's in the road? Why does the road keep branching off? I couldn't do it. Number 1 gamer Ash. It would be great to see Natako's point of view. I'll mention it to him if I remember. Laugh out loud. I think you should learn how you should have to learn evolution, Darwin's theory. And also, I have to say they're scared because they know the facts against them. There's too much proof that there's no right of creation. Science has proof. Creations have madmen. No contest. Weird way of putting it, but yeah. Forcer 85. Here in Sweden, we get thought both views. I think it's taught. But hey, here 90% of the people ain't religious nuts. You know, the one thing that I can never grasp about religion, especially Christianity, if you don't believe this one, you're gonna go to hell. Now, a lot of them, I won't say all of them, but a lot of them are basically saying the same thing. They both have a good place and they all have a bad place. You do bad, you go to the bad. You do good, you go to the good. So they're basically all telling pretty much the same story. The characters are different, but it's still all the same story. Now, you've got this group of people living on top of a mountain. They've never heard of Christianity. They've never heard the word. He dies, but since he don't believe the Christian thought, he's going to go to hell. He's never heard the Christian thought, but since, even if he did hear it, he heard it once or twice, but he still lived a good life, still did good, didn't do bad, but because he didn't choose this path, or this dictator, he's got to go to hell. This doesn't make sense. I mean, that's an vindictive person. You know, if he's never heard of it, how can you hold it against him? And who was it? I was just, God vids. It's another YouTuber. He's portraying himself as God. He's got a YouTube account. God's got a YouTube account. But, you know, he was talking about hell and shit, and he said, you know, when they wrote the Bible, they thought the earth was flat, but yet the hell was at the core of the earth, even though it was flat. How did it have a core? How's it inside the middle of the planet if the planet's flat? I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, I'm getting off the topic. Not like I haven't done that before. Alright. Bootleg's Tattoo Topics, Part 4, Part B. Van Hammer 73, comment removed. You guys quit removing comment. Let me see it. Interesting video. You know, seen somebody had their comment removed, and I contacted them to make sure that somebody wasn't fucking with them. Did they remove it because somebody was bitching at them, or, you know, was harassing them, trolling them? If you leave a comment and you start getting trolled, please tell me. I want to know. That way we can block this person and get them the hell out of here. I'm not going to put up with that. You guys should feel safe commenting on my stuff without being harassed. Anyway, interesting video. This is rubbish in, rubbish out. I've spent my time with a needle in my arm many years ago. I'm therefore a supporter of providing people with education. As Arcane 7707 says, people are going to take drugs. It's a fact. It makes sense that they are aware of the risk, and if they still want to shoot up, they should at least have access to educational resources. Government doesn't always do a good job at public awareness and education campaigns, but in my opinion, it's better than people ODing. Well said. You know, like they're saying, you're not going to stop it. You know, the war on drugs has done absolutely nothing but make a bunch of people rich and put a bunch of productive people in jail because they had a little bit of pot on them. You know, I know there's people in there that never jaywalked, but because they got caught with some pot, they're in there with rapists, murderers, etc., etc. Is that right? Like I said before, you know, pot only got outlawed in the 30s. I mean, that's a long time ago, you know, like 70-some years ago, 70, 80, something like that. But in the big picture, that's a blink of an eye. That was still relatively, I don't want to say recent, but relatively recent. Now, in those years, look at how many people are in prison. Has it helped? The reason I keep looking is I'm seeing if these people are pulling up. I see cars moving out of the corner of my eye, so I look over. I kind of had the feeling that she backed out. She was real. She wanted to be picky, but there was a lot of things that she was undetermined about. One of those that wants to be picky but don't know how to be picky, so they're just a bitch for no particular reason because I can't figure out how to be, you know, picky. I get this shit a lot, you know, though. And she was complaining she went to another tattoo shop, and where she wants it, the person was trying to tell her that, you know, hey, you need to raise it up because it'll be underneath your pants, and your pants will rub on it and mess it up, which is true. It can still heal out. You just got to be more vigilant in taking care of it.